Imagine stepping into a small, dimly lit computer lab in Moscow in 1984, where a young engineer named Alexey Pajitnov is hunched over a clunky old computer, experimenting with shapes and patterns. No one outside the lab knows it yet, but a game is about to be born, one that will capture the attention of millions across the world. I first learned about it when researching Tetris, and I want to take you through the story as if you are there with me, witnessing it unfold. Pajitnov was obsessed with pentaminos, arranging simple geometric shapes to create perfect patterns, and he wondered what would happen if he turned this into a digital puzzle. He programmed the first falling blocks, tested rotations, experimented with speed, and meticulously refined the mechanics so that clearing lines would feel satisfying. He watched intently as his colleagues played, noting every smile, every frustrated groan, and the growing excitement in the room. No one could imagine that this small, quiet experiment would soon become a global phenomenon. Weeks passed, and Tetris began quietly spreading through the institute. People copied discs, shared the game, and a subtle buzz started to grow. Pajitnov observed how different people approached the game, some methodically planning each move, others wildly improvising and hoping for luck. The game was teaching them patience, strategy, and focus without anyone saying a word. Then came Hank Rogers. He had heard rumors of the Soviet invention and flew to Moscow, determined to see it for himself. He later recounted, "When I entered the Elorg building, it felt like walking into a giant ant nest. Everyone was busy with something, and KGB agents were watching from the corners. I had to maneuver carefully just to get a chance to talk about the game." The tension was palpable. It was not just a negotiation. It felt like stepping into a high-stakes secret mission. Rogers eventually managed to secure a meeting with Pajitnov and the key figures at Elorg. They questioned him relentlessly, trying to determine whether he was truly serious about taking Tetris global. But the game itself had already done the convincing. Its simplicity, its addictive rhythm, and its universal appeal spoke louder than any words could. Rogers remembered thinking, "This game isn't just a puzzle. It's something people will carry with them, everywhere, for years to come." As the licensing negotiations progressed, Pajitnov shared his philosophy. Tetris was not about destruction or violence. It was about creating order, the quiet satisfaction of completing a line, and the subtle joy of seeing patterns fit together perfectly. He believed that humans are wired to enjoy building, organizing, and accomplishing small victories, and Tetris delivered that in every block. After securing the rights, Rogers returned home, working tirelessly to bring Tetris to the West. Nintendo recognized its potential, bundling it with the Game Boy, and suddenly, the game exploded. People everywhere, from school children to office workers, were playing. Streets, trains, and cafes were filled with the familiar sound of falling blocks. Rogers recounted, "I couldn't believe it. Every player had the same reaction. Total engagement. Simple, elegant, and addictive." What started as a solitary experiment in a Soviet lab had now conquered the world, uniting people through a shared love of patterns and strategy. Pajitnov, meanwhile, struggled for years to claim royalties, but eventually he moved to the United States and formed a company with Rogers. Yet the story of Tetris continued, reaching new generations, inspiring competitions, art, music, and even scientific studies. Every new player became part of its ongoing life, a new heartbeat in a game that refuses to fade. Reflecting on it all, Rogers said, "The game doesn't end. It rebirths itself every time someone presses start." Tetris is a testament to the power of human creativity, perseverance, and vision. It spread across the globe, captured hearts, and still resonates today, proving that even a simple idea, falling blocks on a screen, can create an unforgettable legacy. And now, when I look back at how it all began, I realize that Tetris is more than just a game. It's a story of invention, risk, cultural exchange, and relentless passion. From a small lab in Moscow to the pockets of millions worldwide, Tetris has earned its place as a timeless classic, thrilling, challenging, and utterly unforgettable. Thank you for watching. I'm always working to improve, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading them, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more.